Everybody, welcome to another edition of Box Seats. I'm your host, Frank Holder. This is the show we talk about sports with comedians. So let's get ready to bring the guys in. First up is my man T. What's up, T?
What it do, baby? I'm chilling. I'm in the building. I'm accounted for today. You heard? Yes, it's a big weekend, Frank.
Why? What's going on this week? Oh, July 4th weekend.
Well, you know, the New York Kings of Comedy tour kicked back off this weekend, so we had Levity Live.
I didn't know that. You always tell me the stuff after the fact. You know, I ain't know that.
Moving parts, brother. Moving parts.
Yeah. Fake, what's up, man?
What's going on, y'all?
So while we wait for a couple other guys to join us, we're going to get ready to get the show started, man. There's a couple of things that jumped off that we got to talk about. Of course, we're going to talk about the big news and the free agency and everything else. But let me start by saying, I'm not sure if you guys remember, but a year ago today, NIL started, and NIL kicked off, which is basically, for those of you who don't know, it's name, image, and likeness. This is the 1-year anniversary of the NIL where college players can get paid. Honestly, you know what I mean? Yeah. College players get paid and they can make some money off their likeness and everything else. A lot of people a year ago saying a year ago that college players getting paid was going to ruin the sport. A year later, it don't look like that. It looks like college players making money and everything else. So, and of course, a lot of people are upset. You know what I mean? T, how you feeling about this a year later?
Well, I mean, it feels good because there's no way to go but up. You know, they get further and further into this, and then the players start to get 100% the recognition and the just due compensation that, for God knows, since the beginning of time, they haven't been getting. Everybody's counting money but the players all these years. And we're not talking thousands and millions. We in the billions at this point. And I just think it's great, man. I mean, may it just continue and nobody come and flip that back, because we just watch things get flipped back. So may this thing stand and may these college players get paid, bro.
Yeah, I agree with the same thing. What's your thinking on this, Vic? Because I know you got some, just like talent. We all got kids and kids in college and all that stuff. What's your take on this, Vic?
Well, I hate to I hate to put it with slavery, because it's not, because slavery was horrific, but this is free labor. These guys, although they're getting some money, they're not getting the same money. It's not like the university is paying them, or it's not like they're getting advertising dollars for what it is that they actually do. So it's usage of bodies and these athletes, and they're not getting paid what it is. I don't know if I had who I had the conversation with, but some of these athletes don't even, like, some of them don't even have enough money to eat.
Right.
You know what I mean? After they get what it is that they get, man. And I just think it's horrible. I don't know what kind of mindset allows you to be able to do that to people.
All right, so Rodney Perry has joined the show. Rodney, how you doing, sir?
How are you, gentlemen? How are you doing today?
All right, Rodney.
Good.
We're discussing today is the 1-year anniversary of the NIL, which is basically the name, image, and likeness, where college players will finally be able to get the ability to get paid. You know what I mean? This is the 1-year anniversary. People were saying, hey, this is not going to be something good. It's not this, that people were upset about that. A year later, it's shown some great benefits. People are very excited about this, and it looks like it's going to not stop. Also, Amir's joined the show. My man Amir. We're going to come to you in a second, Amir. Rodney Perry, what's your thoughts on this, bro? What you think?
Well, man, my daughter is currently a college athlete, and this applies to all athletes. So, we went many years without athletes being able to benefit from their name, image, or likeness. And so this is a great thing, man. And this is just the beginning. Hopefully, they're still not being paid for their their worth, but at the very least, they can still earn some money, and help their families. But the irony of it is that it's still a group of athletes that, for lack of a better word, lack of popularity, they not gonna benefit from this anyway. Right. And so there should be come down the pipe a way for these kids to get paid for giving their bodies and their time to this game.
Right. Amir, you had a brother who was in this situation, except he wasn't getting paid at the time. But like I said, this is the 1-year anniversary of players can get paid now and everything else. And obviously, the more popular you are, the more money you're going to make. Some people have a problem with that. But overall, it's the beginning of something, I think. What's your thoughts on this, Amir?
No, I think you're absolutely right. I think, first and foremost, everything is a step in the right, or this is a step in the right direction, especially, considering that there have been so many players who stand, this new initiative stands on the backs of those players. And going forward, for a lot of these kids, because, we've seen it time and time again, especially, at the collegiate level where, these kids give their blood, sweat, and tears, away to these institutions. And in some cases, yes, they make it to the next level, which they become professionals. But in a lot of cases, they don't. So it ends at the collegiate level, and then sometimes they're never heard of again. So, the ability to at least cash in to some degree on their popularity as it stands, in that arena, I think is an absolutely phenomenal thing. So, kudos to them. And I think to your point, I think we will see some changes. And to Rodney's point, we will see, some other changes that will allow maybe some of the less popular athletes to, be able to participate in this wonderful program as well. So
right. All right, so we're gonna keep the show moving on. Let me just say this. I want to mention that Deshaun Watson's disciplinary hearing is finally over. I don't want to discuss it because we got a lot more other things to discuss. We jumped into it. We talked a lot about it and everything else. Right now, there's no timetable for the ruling. We're waiting for the ruling. So with that being said, because we mentioned that, let's get ready to jump into the next hot topic, which was literally, Fig, I'm gonna start with you. Literally, Fig, as soon as we got off the air yesterday, man, we saw the news that Kevin Durant requested a trade from the Brooklyn Nets. It's going to cause a seismic shift in the NBA because a lot of things are going to happen. A lot of people are waiting for that. Tell me what your thoughts process is with the Nets agreeing to accommodate Kevin Durant in his trade request. What's your immediate thoughts, Fig?
I mean, listen, the whole thing, it was a debacle from the very beginning. It didn't work out. I mean, the first year, clearly, it's been 3 years, first year. Clearly, Kevin Durant couldn't play because he was coming off the Achilles injury, and Kyrie was the leader of that team. And then he said he didn't want to play because Kevin Durant wasn't playing. And then the next year, Kyrie got injured. They brought in James Harden. That didn't really work out because James Harden got injured because while he was in Philadelphia, not in Philadelphia. While he was in Houston, he ate his way out of shape so that Houston would trade him. So that didn't work out. And then during the playoffs, Kyrie gets injured. Then fast forward, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Man, it's just a steamy pile of doo-doo show. And it just never worked out for either side. So when he says he wants to trade, I think that the organization would love to keep him, but a clean slate might be the best thing for everybody involved.
Rodney Perry, what's your immediate thoughts when you saw that the news that broke that literally that Kevin Durant, not Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant is requesting a trade out of Brooklyn? What was your immediate thoughts?
I mean, of course, we went through earlier in the week, Kyrie, the whole Kyrie opting in, opting out, and it seemed like that was the biggest thing that was going to happen with the Nets. And then you see KD wants out of there as well. How about this? Kevin Durant is still top 5 in the league, and to lose him is to lose maybe the biggest player in the game. And so, if you're the Nets, do you deal him now and do a complete rebuild, or do you invest in him and hope you get somebody around him? I think they're looking to rebuild. And the Nets, like in great New York tradition, they'll find a way to mess up a great situation.
Yeah. Talent. The problem is he requested a trade. They're going to accommodate him in his trade. But with that being said, what is your immediate reaction when you saw that KD was requesting a trade? Besides laughing, because I know you fell out laughing. I know I did.
First of all, Rodney's a hater.
Yes, I am.
He can't wait to get a little. All you gotta do is leave the window crack. He gonna throw something in there. Well, this is what I think. I gave it a lot of thought yesterday. I think they've been through this. I think at the end of last season, they knew that they weren't going to be there. And I think the only reason it waited so long for this precise moment at the deadline is, and this kudos to dudes, he wanted to make sure Kyrie got his money first. You know, once he knew Kyrie was going to use that option to get that money, that's when he was going to, once he signed on that deadline, that's when he's going to make his announcement, because they didn't gel. And I don't know if it's just them two or the front office or the other players of the team, but he knew he was out of there. He just waited to the last second so that all the pieces got into place to do that. Now, with that being said, I agree, though, with Rodney. I think this is a time to rebuild for Brooklyn. Let's keep it real. Jersey Nets came to Brooklyn and tried to jump into that pond, that Hudson River, so fast to be instant competition to the Knicks. And, it ain't as easy as it seemed. You started from the bottom, now you're here. So now you got 2 top 10 players that you only had for a season and a half, and they out of it. And one only played one because you brought him over injured, and you had to wait for him. And this is why I say the Knicks front office, the new guys, the black dudes they got working in the Knicks front office, this one they was right about. This one they was smart about by waiting and just waiting, because they paid all that money. You waited a whole year without him playing, and then he played one, fell short, and now you still got to rebuild.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Does KD go across town to the Knicks?
Hold on, Rodney. Amir, the crazy thing about this is it was strategically done. If people who don't know anything about the NBA, it was strategically done because he came out and said it 4 hours before literally the free agency started and everything else. What was your immediate thoughts on what happened when it came out? What was your immediate thoughts?
Well, first and foremost, you got to give KD, some credit for at least trying to come to Brooklyn and bring a winning culture and/or spirit to the organization. One of the caveats of this, obviously, is the whole Kyrie piece, which, we've talked about this in length, on various shows throughout the year, but mental health is a serious situation. And I think one of the things that probably is not necessarily being talked about is Kyrie and his mental health. I'm under the assumption that the kid may be partially bipolar, if not fully bipolar. And because of that, if you really look at his interviews and the way he actually carries himself, it shows signs of that. Now, obviously, with that possibly being a factor, you don't know what form of Kyrie is going to show up during the season or in the off season or whatever the case may be. For a player of Kevin Durant's caliber, he's probably looking for somebody who's going to be a little more consistent and play the game, at least with the same energy and/or level and consistency that he does. And I think that probably ended up also being a major factor as to why he was saying to himself, look, I got to get out of here because I can't go back and forth with this young man. I need somebody who's going to, show up night in and night out and play this game. So I think that also factored into, his decision. But, to your point about this being a cousin, I'm just wondering where this dude is going to end up, because wherever he does, obviously he's going to add, scoring power and an ability to make that team better. It doesn't make
we're about to talk about that right now, as a matter of fact. But Rodney, what was your question? What were you going to say?
No. I mean, Amir just made some great points, but I think it's less Kyrie and more KD. Like, I think KD has come to the realization that he is not a leader. KD is not your guy that you want at the number one. And he's failed at that many times. He failed in OKC. The best time we saw the best KD when he didn't have to lead in Golden State. So now he's probably looking for somewhere he can go, not be a leader, and just hoop. I think the guy just wants to shoot basketball. He doesn't want what LeBron wants. He doesn't want what Steph Curry wants. That's a different thing. And KD, how good he is not a leader, and I think he's come to the realization of that.
All right, let's jump into this part right now, Talent. I'm gonna start with you, bro. Now, honestly, let's look at this like that. KD requested 2 teams he wants to go to. He wants to go to Phoenix or Miami, right? T. I've been looking at it. I've done my research and everything else right now on where he can go and everything else. I don't, especially now that Devin Booker just signed that extension yesterday. He's not going in the trade, so Devin Booker's going to be there. KD. I don't know how Phoenix makes it work without letting go DeAndre Ayton and that young fella comes off the bench. I don't know how they make that work, without that. But anyway, let's just throw it out there and say, where do you think Kevin Durant's going to go? Whether it's Phoenix, whether it's Miami, where do you think he's going to go? That will actually make it work. You know what I mean? Because wherever he goes, some team's going to have to leverage a lot to get him too. And
well, first of all, shout out to Kevin Booker. Shout out to Kevin Booker. I heard he dropped 30 last night. So listen, here's the thing. The nerve of players. I have hit you with a bombshell. I went out. Please, I'm demanding a trade. The team, the front office, miraculously says, you know what? We don't want no trouble. We're gonna get you out of it. The heck come your big rhinoceros nuts to say, I want to go to one of these 2 teams. Man, F you. You go where I can get you. If I'm the team, I'm going to look for the best deal for my team at that point. I'm giving up argumentatively the best player in the league. Let me go shop. I want to go to Miami or Phoenix. Nigga, you going to the Grizzlies. I'm sending you to the Timberwolves. I'm sending you. Don't tell me where you want to go. I think that's a lot of nerve, first of all, because you got lucky part one of that. Part one of that, they came back and said, no problem, we'll work with you and get a trade somewhere. And you come with a shopping list?
Yeah, but where do you think he's going to go, T?
I think he's going to stay on the East, first of all. So that gives Miami a big up and a shot of a chance of having them. I said it before, I say it again. Why go back west with all of that conundrum of stuff going on over there? There's a ton of things going on there. Competition's at an all-time high. You're not a spring chicken. You're on the other side of the sled. No. There's a pinnacle, and then it does this. KD is, if he's not right here, you're right here. So you're not on this side of it, man. Go somewhere where the pieces are put together. You know what I mean? If you can help it. But if I'm the team, man, if I'm the Nets, I'm not giving you a wish list. I'll send you somewhere else, and you let them deal with the wish list.
Right. But Rodney Perry, the problem is he wants to go to a team that's going to win championship right now. But the big problem is the team that's going to trade for you got to give up a lot of pieces, and still ain't going to win the championship because they got to give up too much to get you because you got 4 years left in your contract. So I don't even see how Miami makes it work and actually contend. But where do you think he's going to land at, Rodney Perry?
Well, Miami is already gutting that squad. They're already gutting the squad, right? So gut it for KD or gut it for nobody's. They gutting the squad either way. And so is Phoenix. Phoenix is gutting the squad. Aiden is out of there. So if you saying, you tell me I might be able to get KD and another guy for Aiden, for KD, I get rid of Aiden and another guy, nigga, sign me up. Right? He's not going to no Toronto, no place like that, and be obscure. He wants to play for a championship. What better place to go with Chris Paul and Devin Booker or Kevin Booker, either one of them, and make a run? KD gonna make a run in Phoenix. Yeah, I like it. I like it on the East, and I like it on the West. Either way, and I think these teams also, with the emergence of like Memphis, everybody's trying to get younger, right, and quicker and sleek. But I think the league is going to revert back old school, like next year. So we'll see.
Fig, where do you think he's going to go, and where do you think it's going to make sense for him to go for a team that literally has to have enough pieces for him to A, trade for him, and B, to contend?
Man, this is difficult because it's like Talent said. The Brooklyn Nets have to do what's best for the Brooklyn Nets. I mean, I want to appease Kevin Durant and get him out of there, but at the end of the day, I don't really want to rebuild. Maybe a team that's willing to turn over what they have as their top two players and possibly get Kevin Durant and Kyrie. Because right now, Kyrie, after Kevin Durant goes, Kyrie will probably go for a song. He has no real takers. And I think the Nets can really get something significant with the players that they have. They have Patty Mills, they have Curry, they got Ben Simmons, they got Claxton. They still have a nice little core that if you trade Kevin Durant and get some decent pieces back, you're still in contention. You know, you're not at the bottom of the barrel anymore. So I think if Phoenix decides that, look, maybe I give up Devin Booker and a couple other guys, and I end up with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, with Chris Paul and that crew, maybe they could do better. Or Miami, I don't know. Miami really don't have any attractive pieces to me. Not for Kevin Durant and a Kyrie Irving, because all their players are old, aging, and most of them were injured last year. I don't see anything significant over in Miami except for Tyler Hero, which he ain't a Kevin Durant trade, and the other kid, Duncan Robinson, who couldn't even get off the bench.
Well,
and
Tyler
you
Hero,
trade for Bam Adebayo until you get off of what's the name in Brooklyn, because you can't have him. So I'd say the closest thing is possibly Phoenix if they reconsider and get up off of Devin Booker.
Problem is that a lot of players you mentioned are not even signed. So there's enough. That's another problem. Amir, how do you see some of this stuff holding out, and which team do you see him possibly going? You don't have to follow the two teams like Miami and Phoenix. Let's just wipe the slates clean. Where do you see him be able to go that teams have enough to be able to give up and they'll still be able to stay relevant? Because I'll tell you what I think, and after you go, I mean, you tell me what you think, and we'll see who goes.
Well, first off, if he did make it to Phoenix, I think that would be pretty interesting just to see. That'd be box office TV to me, because I think with Devin Booker and CP3, you'd have a nice core of elder statesmen, and you still have a lot of those young players over there who probably could learn a lot from those two gentlemen. But to be honest with you, shoot, I'd like to see him maybe slide to a Memphis.
That was my team.
Maybe. I mean, they probably couldn't, pull him out of there because, the Pelicans, that situation, if Zion comes back and he, fully lends himself to the core of the players that they have there, that's going to be a nice look this upcoming season. But Memphis is probably the only other team that I could think of that if he, kind of went and was a part of something, would be really exciting to see, because I think Ja Morant is still, on the cuspice of being, something to marvel over in the next few years as he continues to improve his game. So that's the only other team that I could think of off the top of my head where, he might fit in and be able to bring his brand of basketball and improve that organization.
Right. Here's the problem, and I'm gonna say this in front of all you guys. Here's the problem that the teams are having right now, and I think they're gonna have, is that he wants to. It's his contract. His contract is 4 years and it's loaded. His contract is huge. If he goes to Memphis, Memphis can package him up and also be able to give give a couple of the draft picks. Problem is they don't have no huge contracts on their roster too. But right now, Memphis makes the most sense to me in New Orleans. Phoenix got DeAndre Ayton. They got signed the DeAndre Ayton thing and with a sign and trade and give away one more player. That's the one that makes the most sense. And I think that probably where he lands. But before anything, nobody's talking about, I want y'all to hear his first. This is my Pelican brief, Rodney Perry. This is my Pelican brief. Watch this. Watch this. But the Brooklyn Nets have to get rid of Ben Simmons for them to make a lot of trades, because Ben Simmons in that contract he signed is having them a hard time to be able to move a lot of things because of that restricted contract. He signed an extended rookie contract, and you can't move a player like him with other extended rookie contracts on team rosters. Like, that's why they can't do him and get Bam Adebayo from Miami. So Ben Simmons, before this, I'm willing to bet before Friday of next week, Brooklyn moves him in order to be able to say, okay, now we can do wherever we want because Ben Simmons is gone. That's my Pelican brief. And ain't nobody looking at Ben Simmons.
Let me understand what you're saying. You're saying that they have to move Ben Simmons before they move KD.
Yes, in order for let's say they want to do the Miami thing. They can't trade they can't trade literally Kevin Durant there because of now they have two players up there with that contract problem that they have. It's the Chris Paul situation that I said. Remember when Chris Paul blocked?
You can't make KD sit around another 7 days either.
No, exactly. That's my Pelican brief. You literally just said my Pelican brief. My Pelican brief is they're gonna move Ben Simmons immediately because it causes problem with them in a lot of teams because he just signed that restricted contract.
But nobody wants Ben Simmons though.
Hence my problem. He gonna move. They're gonna move him for peanuts.
Richard Simmons won him. Richard Simmons is looking for him.
Where you at, Ben?
All right, so we get ready to do rapid fire because a lot of stuff happened yesterday, man. So I'm gonna throw this stuff out to you guys. That was my Pelican brief right now for the week. I'm gonna start with T, so I can keep my order together. But your boy Jalen Brunson officially signed. He became a New York Knicks. His dad also. This is nothing that nobody even mentioned either. His dad ended up becoming on the coaching staff within the last 4 or 5 months. I was like, boy, the Knicks are slick. They're really, really slick. They made an official assistant head coach, official assistant coach on New York Knicks. And Jalen Brunson ended up signing that big contract. And Dallas didn't even get a chance to make an offer. Talon, you happy with Jalen Brunson joining the team?
Hell yeah, because that's fam right there. That's fam right there. That's another inside track for me personally. That's tickets. I mean, we go in the game, right? I text him soon as I think I'm gonna say it was Fig. One of you guys put it in the feed. I'm watching TV, and one of you guys put it in the feed. I text his father so fast. I said, "Yo, Rick, find out you back home, son." He was like, "Yeah, baby." I was like, "Oh, it's on." So, matter of fact. Not only are we going to the game, we're going to have his father on this damn show ASAP.
Hey,
okay.
Hey, I'm wearing it. I'm getting a Nick jersey.
I'm going to hold you that. Rodney Perry.
Yeah.
Gary Payton II reached an agreement with the Portland Trail Blazers. 3 years, $28 million. The crazy thing about it is Monday, he was at 3 years, $10 million. Portland gave him 3 years, $28 million. You happy with that? He left the Golden State Warriors.
I told y'all. I just said it. I said, dog, we gonna keep going to stay together. They don't give a damn about Gary Payton. Gary Payton gonna go get his money. Gary Payton, let me tell you something. His daddy is a NIGGA. He say, you gonna get that money, boy. He got a daddy. See the difference between these guys is guys with daddies, guys without daddies. Guys with daddies make sound financial decisions. Shouts out to Gary Payton 1 and 2. Well done. Go get the paper. Don't nobody want to go to Portland. He trying to get money.
Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? My man Fig, you're going to like this question, Fig. New Orleans Pelicans signed Zion Williamson to a 5-year, $193 million designated player contract extension. Meaning designated player means the more he performs and the less he's injured, the better he is. Question to you is, even though he signed this, do you think he's still going to get traded?
I think it's a possibility. Like if Kevin Durant could be moved, why not Zion? Kevin Durant got 4 years, $200 million. So why can't Zion get moved too? I mean, it won't be the first time. You know what I mean? Kevin Durant be moved within the next 3 weeks. Why not Zion? As a matter of fact, that might be a nice destination for Kevin Durant because if I'm Brooklyn, I'd love to see Brandon Ingram, a couple of players, another player or two, and a pick, and Kevin Durant in New Orleans would be an upgrade from a Brandon Ingram. So I'd love to do that, man. That would be a nice piece for my team to start running again in Brooklyn. It'd be nice for both squads.
Yeah, Amir, I got to say this next question, this next person who signed really had me baffled. Bradley Beal staying in Washington, 5 years, $251 million. I knew he was going to get his bag, but I was like, dude, I don't think I just think he's about money. When as a week ago, hell, 4 days ago, everybody was talking about how he wanted to basically, compete for a championship. I don't know what he was smoking, but to me, talk to me.
Okay, hey. First off, I saw this last night. I was out hanging and I saw it scroll across the bottom of the screen, and I said, "Congratulations, young man. Look, Rodney alluded to this, and I think we all alluded to this the other day. I told you, this generation of players, as much as we have been about championships and as much as we have been about winning teams, and they don't give a darn about none of that. These kids want to get this money, and they want to be able to live comfortably for as long as they can. And as long as they make sound investments and they do what they're supposed to do with their money, these kids will be good forever."
Yeah.
The Bradley Beal having left DC, first off, he would have been an absolutely phenomenal addition to any squad in the entire NBA. Right. But let's be clear. In Washington, where there's no pressure on him to do anything other than to show up, that's 251 million reasons to do so. He's not expected to win anything there. He's expected to just show up for work and collect his check and go home to his beautiful family and enjoy his life. I'm not mad.
No pressure. Rodney Perry, next round. Get ready to start the next round. Rodney Perry, you up first, man. The Joker, Nikola Jokic, signed 5 years, $270 million supermax extension, the largest contract extension for a player in his position ever in NBA history. The Joker is happy where he's at. He signed that extension. I just don't know if Denver's still going to make a difference and compete. They could, but are you happy with Joker signing that extension? Where you at, Rodney Perry?
I mean, he is your MVP 2 years running. He rates a top-notch salary. Is he ever going to win? I really believe he believes that they have what it takes to get there. They don't. I think he believes they do. And they've been plagued with injury. So at the end of the day, man, it's similar to the Bradley Beal thing. I think there are certain guys out there that are loyal to a fault. They're loyal to their teams, whether it be Bradley Beal, whether it be the Joker. They are loyal to these owners and stuff. And you talk about a lot of these owners are savvy guys. These guys are charismatic billionaires. They know how to talk to poor people. Right? And they go, "Hey, you poor young man from wherever you from, I'm about to give you $200 million. I'm going to change your life. And I already changed your life. Hey, I love you. I love you. I love you." Come, give me a hug. You don't have no daddy. Give me a hug. So all these players are their loyalties are being questioned. And so we're seeing that play out too. These guys love, I love the Joker. He's still slow, but he gets the job done. And you can't be mad at him.
He sure does. Talent. Ja Morant ended up signing a 5-year extension off his rookie contract. He got $231 million from Memphis Grizzlies. 231. He's in his third year of his contract, and they already signed him. They didn't even wait for 2 more years. They're like, you know what? Let's sign this extension now, because 2 years from now, it'll probably be $280 million. Let's do this right now.
Yeah, they got to do that. They got to do that every year. These players are so young. They got ADD. First of all, you got to keep them entertained. When you dealing with, it ain't like back in the day. A rookie was 20-some years old, and now these little dudes, 3 years in, they just hit 20. So you got to, how the kids are. You got to throw stuff in front of them, colors and lights. Like Rodney said, you got to know how to talk to them. Hey, young man, I love you. I don't care what language you speak. 200 million. You can come to me with broken English. 200 million. Sign it, Pop. I'll be like, sign it, Poppy. I don't care about none of that. I'll take 2 tacos and $200 million.
200 million. Big. That's the big number, man. Big number is $200 million, because my man Devin Booker signed a 4-year contract extension, supermax extension with the Phoenix Suns for $224 million. Yes, I mean, he's in the $200 million. He's another young buck too, with the $200+ million too. But again, he's sitting there waiting to find out what happens with the Phoenix Suns, because we know it's getting ready to happen. What's your thoughts on Devin Booker signing that extension?
My thing is, I just want to know where the new generation begins. When you guys say the new generation of players, because Bradley Beal is old as hell.
He's 29, bro.
So he ain't no new generation, nothing. And everybody that signed these contracts, they also think that they can win. Ja Morant, Devin Booker, Zion Williamson. Everybody, with the exception of Bradley Beal, is in a position where they believe their team has an opportunity to win a championship. So I don't see this new generation taking money and foregoing championships at the same time. I think they go hand in hand. I think if you're on a bum team and you're a young player, you still think, Mike, that you want to win and still make some money at the same time. The only one that doesn't fit the criteria is Bradley Beal, but he's old as dust. He better take $251 million. He better, because no other team could have paid him that.
Rodney Perry, you hear that? He called Bradley Beal old as dust. The boy's 29 years old. Somebody got to talk to him.
And he got 3 years. Jesus Christ.
He's 29, Vic.
He's actually
he's old in NBA years. He's at the end of his career. He's done 5 years, $251 million. When his $251 million is up, he will be gone.
Just because you yell it don't mean it's right.
Yeah, exactly. But you got to tell him. Anyway,
tell me where I'm wrong.
Rodney Perry, Karl Anthony Towns. He's also in the new extension, $224 million. Karl Anthony Towns signed for Minnesota Timberwolves, $224 million, supermax extension. He gonna be in Minnesota for a while too. He got another person 30 and under, that was the new team, the new generation 30 and under, who's got that $200+ million. Karl Anthony Towns believes the team that he's with right now is possible. He signed an extension also. You happy with Cat staying in Minnesota?
It's not the players. The people that are making the bets are the billionaire owners. They're betting. And how about this? They've made enough money to risk this amount of money. They, like, when you look at it, it's like going to the crap tables in Vegas. You know what your stash is in your pocket, right? So before you go to the crap table, you look at your stash one more time. You know what? I can afford to put $200 million on the table. Do I believe in my guy? At the very least, and then also put this in, fellas. It's everybody's making money. We're all billionaires. We all, me, Talent, Amir, Fig, the principal, we all making money. And so it's all chump change at the end of the day. It feels like a lot to us, but this is chump change. The next set behind these Fig, because you're right. These guys are 29, blah, blah. They're right at the cusp. The next set of young people, Ja Morant, after Ja Morant, those guys that's out here in the OTE league that are already making money, we're gonna see a 500. We'll see 500 million in our lifetime.
Yeah,
right,
we definitely are. There's no doubt about that.
I'm gonna tell you who started all this, man. Dude named Gilbert Arenas.
Yeah, he did.
If you give a dude named Gilbert a lot of money, God damn it, anybody can get a check.
Everybody.
Well, Talent, since I got you up, T, I'm gonna throw this question out to you. I was gonna give it to Amir. We're gonna start the next round. The next round is literally the Sixers are officially shopping Tobias Harris right now. They are on the cusp, and they're shopping him because they signed literally PJ Tucker for a 3-year, $332 million deal. So now they can't afford somebody, and it looked like Tobias Harris is going to be the odd man out. So they're gonna have to upload his contract right now. When you hear that the Sixers committed to a 38-year-old and getting rid of a 26-year-old. What's your thoughts on how the Sixers are running things right now, T? What's your thoughts?
Well, let me tell you something, man. If I'm Tobias Harris, I'm happy to get the hell out of that creepy ass organization, right? First of all, if I'm Tobias Harris, I'm going to make what's that movie we just seen? Hustle. I'm going to make Hustle 2.
Hustle 2.
He was good in part 1. I'm gonna do Hustle 2 with Adam Sandler. The Sixers, man, to be honest with you, from a managerial standpoint, is reminding me of the old Knicks front office with Checkets and them when they was running amok in there. They don't know what they want to do. They don't know what they want to do. I'm telling you, they're gonna piss that boy off, and he's gonna get the first thing smoking back to Africa. You keep tearing that team apart and mismanaging it. They should be bringing. How do you run away from youth? If you got any one of these top 10 players right now on your team, if you're lucky enough, let's just, because there's way more than 10 teams in the league. But let's just say those top 10 players, whatever teams they on, how do you run away from youth, supplying youthful players around that bombshell player? I don't care if it's Embiid in Philly. I don't care if it's Giannis in Milwaukee. I don't care if it's Steph Curry in Golden State, Jimmy Butler over there in Chicago. How do you run away from building with youth? You don't build with age. You build with youth. That's what building is. Yeah. So you got all these young bodies, and you're gonna shop the young dude and bring in an old dude. We don't even know what his name is, PJ. I'm not trusting initials. I'm done with that. All my friends, I need to know their names. I'm not going to pop formula.
I just tell you.
I'm not going to court sounding stupid. It was black. Who's black?
Who's black?
Hot dog.
Who's black? You can't snitch on PJ.
PJ Tucker. What? Anybody know his name?
Paul Jean.
Who?
Paul Jean.
Oh yeah, stick with PJ.
I made that up.
Yeah, the name be so bad, I just call it.
Whatever.
Yo, the Celtics just made a phenomenal trade. They got Malcolm Brogdon from I'm stuttering up here right now. The Celtics from the Indiana Pacers. The Pacers are trading Malcolm Brogdon to the Celtics for Daniel Tice and Aaron Naismith and 2023 pick.
For who?
Aaron Naismith. Hold on, let me double check. The Pacers are trading Malcolm Brogdon to the Celtics, Daniel Tice, and Aaron Naismith.
So they got rid of them two in the Leprechaun.
Yeah, in the Leprechaun. What you think?
Wow. I know that the gentleman from Indiana, I know he's been an integral part of that organization and one of the key players, if I'm not mistaken. The two players from Boston, I'm not as familiar with.
Because they're bums. They're bums.
Okay.
That's easy.
So, I mean, here's the reality of it all. Boston, realizes that they, again, they're on the cuspice of possibly, getting back to the chip again. And they may have been a player or two away from having what is needed to a point the talent just made about an injection of youth. You got to have some of these players who can come in and give, your veterans, even though, a 25, both of them are 25, but some of your other veterans, a cat like Harford and all that stuff, a real break. And if you can get a player of some sort of quality to, be able to bring into the situation, then you got a win-win. So I think for you guys, obviously it's a super win. I don't know what the Indiana Pacers are doing. Apparently they're trying to go back to the Stone Age and truly start all over again from the beginning.
Like, why would they trade one of their corner pieces to the Celtics is beyond me. But I'm happy to take them. I'm like, bring them on down. Let's make them happy. Let's come on down. I even lost my place. I forgot where I was at. See,
I think the Celtics are making a move for Durant.
That's possible.
Ooh.
That's very possible. All right, I'm gonna start with you, Rodney Perry, because I lost my place. Damn it, I lost my place. All right, so we were talking about the Sixers. Here we go. Rodney Perry, Victor Oladipo signed a 1-year deal. Last year he played
for the WNBA. Good for him.
Victor Oladipo is coming back to Miami. He was playing last year for the veteran minimum. This year he signed a 1-year deal for $11 million to return back to Miami. He's as we saw in the NBA playoffs. That boy is definitely a lockdown guard coming off the bench and everything else. This is a good look for Miami, I think. What you think, Rodney Perry?
Oh, it's a great look for Miami. I mean, whatever you can say about Oladipo, man, the dude is a real player. He was on the cusp of being a superstar in the NBA, and then he faded. He got injured, and he faded. And so how you see players get the money, get the bag, and then they kind of faded. Like, you know what? I got my bag. I'm not. he's auditioning every day.
Right.
So he got this 11. He's trying to get 25 next year. So this is gonna be a great year going forward for him. I think if he can stay healthy, he's gonna get a real bag in the next 3 years.
Yeah, I definitely see that. Fig, you're up. Here's your question. Nick Batum decided to return to LA Clippers. We all know the Clippers are stacked now. They got John Wall. I was concerned if Nick was going to leave the Clippers and everything else because I was like literally concerned saying, oh my goodness, if they get rid of that one of the guys coming off the bench, they might have problems. But they ended up signing him. He got a 2-year deal worth, it looks like it's 24 million. I'll double check on the money. But him returning has got to keep the Clippers in contention. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that the Clippers have a decent squad. They got John Wall, possibly looks like Kawhi Leonard and Paul George will be on their squad this year. And plus the host of other players that they have, man, they look like they are going to be in serious contention to challenge for the Western Conference Championship this year. They look like the biggest threat to the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, I definitely have to say. See, the Golden State Warriors is the issue, T. Like that's the problem right now. Everybody's trying to pack up for the Golden State Warriors, and as I said at the beginning of the show, they got rid of GP2, but they also got rid of their young boy Juan Toscano Anderson. He leaves Golden State to go to the Lakers too. He got a nice bag too to join the Lakers. What's your thought about Golden State? They lost 2 members of their bench that was a high-scoring players off their bench. What you think about Golden State, and what you think about the Lakers adding him? What's your thoughts, Steve?
Well, I like Golden State. Even though they lost a couple of powerful bench players, they always seem to find powerful bench players. I think in the history of us watching them turn into this dynasty, they're only second as far as finding dope bench players and role players behind probably like San Antonio over the years. Yeah. They always seem to find these guys that could come out there, and you look in the box score, it might only say 8 points or 10 points or 4 or 5 rebounds, but when you watch the game, you see and feel the impact, and they're good at that. So I'm not worried about Golden State. I think they know what they're doing. I trust them when it comes to fluctuating players number 6 and down. 6, 7, 8. They always rotate real good with 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, they definitely do. That's their thought. Amir, Bobby Portis ended up returning back to the Milwaukee Bucks. He got a huge bag, 43 years, 44. I think it was $44 million. I lost my place, but he's coming back to the Bucks. Last year he played for he was averaging $3 million, $4 million a year. He played for the hometown discount. Now he's playing for $15 million a year, and he's like, I'm coming back only for the bag. So Bobby Portis huge for the Bucks coming back. Don't you think, Amir?
Yes, that was a major re-sign there for that organization. Bobby Portis has proven to be a very great part of that whole situation. Look, we talked about it in length. Chris, Middleton coming back is going to be paramount to that team getting back to any kind of championship caliber shape. And I think with the addition of Bobby Portis, who already was there and they all kind of know how to play together, I think they're just looking to finally get all of the pieces back on the floor together and see whether or not they can take those same pieces and make another, championship run. So I think that's a super dope signing for him. I'm happy for Bobby Portis. I'm always happy for any of these players who are getting the bag one way or another. You talk about, how injuries can, obviously not only change the dynamics of your team, but it could also change the dynamics of these young men's lives. So to see these gentlemen get their bag, whatever that may look like for them, I always think is a great thing. So that's dope.
Fig, this question's for you. Miami has submitted a trade offer for Donovan Mitchell right now. Utah is trying to figure out the package to make it work. In less than 3 or 4 days, Donovan Mitchell can possibly be suiting up with obviously Jimmy Butler and Miami Heat. You like that trade?
Depending on who they got to get up. Well, you know what? It really don't matter who they got to give up for them because they're going to get younger, more athletic, and more skilled just by adding Donovan Mitchell. So it really don't matter who they give up. They give up Kyle Lowry. They can give a whole bunch of them players because they ain't none of them Donovan Mitchell. They give up 3-4 of them players, and it still ain't going to equal to Donovan Mitchell. Yeah, man, that's a good move for Miami.
Yeah. See, your boy Rod Strickland ended up becoming men's basketball coach for Long Island University yesterday, man. He got himself a nice deal, 3 years. I think we got to clap up to that man right there because he's been working hard to do that, man. And he ended up becoming literally head basketball coach. I don't know if he's trying to get to the NBA, but talk about your relationship with Rod Strickland. Talk about how you know what your thoughts on him obviously becoming a head coach.
Well, I got beef with Rod because Rod don't drink no more. And I find it disrespectful that he started me to drink it, and now he's clean, and I'm just left holding the damn dumb drinking bag. You know what I mean? So last time I see him, I give him a piece of my mind. I'm proud of Rod though. Rod is, forever a New York icon in this thing called basketball. And another dude who we next week probably get on the show and talk about that appointment. You know what I mean? That new job and where he want to go with it. By seeing him as an assistant coach in college, I do think that coaches have aspirations like everybody else to climb the ladder. So I wouldn't say he don't have goals to, trying to get to the NBA or back to college as a head coach.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to LIU, so that's showing you right there. So he's showing you that, but I think these guys have bigger aspirations. So.
Yeah, definitely that. Rodney Perry, the Lakers look like they are trying to not only get Kyrie Irving. I just got a text coming up from a friend of mine in New York saying that the Lakers are trying to put together a package for Russell Westbrook and maybe 2 players. And the Lakers are trying to make a move to get KD and Kyrie to come to LA. It looks like they're serious about that. What's your thoughts on that? Rodney Perry? It would be literally Kyrie, KD, and AD and LeBron.
Hey man, I'm not gonna let myself fall into this. Get excited about this.
I'm lining it up for you, Rodney. I'm teed up for you, Rodney.
I'm not gonna let y'all drag me down this quagmire. Let's look at it. Okay.
They talk about a lot in LA. My man in New York.
If anybody can play with Kyrie, it's LeBron.
Right.
LeBron understands the guy. And how about this? We talked about Kyrie and not being available. Best ability is availability. We ain't sure if AD gonna play more than 8 or 9 games. So if he play 8, Kyrie plays 75. It's a win. They all interchangeable one game. LeBron needs some help, and if he could get, I'm not even gonna consider him getting a KD. But if he got a KD, it gets really crazy in the West. Forget everybody else. If he get KD and a serviceable guard, he don't need Kyrie, right?
If they help, do you agree with Rodney Perry? If healthy, because obviously at the end of the day, it's all about health.
First of all, if they put all that together, I'll be honest with you, I'm gonna stop watching. That's an illegal roster. It's for KD to play with LeBron, and then you want to add AD and Kyrie on the same team. Send them niggas to Yugoslavia for the Olympics. That's first.
They go sit next to Brittany Griner.
You can say you put that team on a plane right now and send them to the Ukraine in that war. Dunk on all the military in that war.
They might win.
It's illegal, first of all. It's illegal, but I don't doubt it that they're trying to do it because of the simple fact that when the other day Russell Westbrook announced that he exercised the option to stay and get all that money, that whole damn Laker organization was upset. They wanted him to say, hey, I'm demanding a trade. Everybody wanted to hear that on the Laker organization. When he said, I'm chilling. Sign me up. Give me all the money. It was like, you staying? You want to stay? You done came in and stunk up the gym and going to stay? So they scrambling for any. Watch, they're going to work a package out. He will not be there. I think you won't see Westbrook play with the Lakers this year. I don't think so.
No, Westbrook's definitely not going to play with the Lakers.
Yeah, they're going to package his ass out of there.
Fig, you got 30 seconds.
They're going to get too hot.
It's not going to happen. You're going to give up. Okay.
I don't think so either.
The Brooklyn Nets are going to give up Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, and Anthony Davis is going to stay in LA. Who else they got? Who else they got that they could trade? Who else does the Lakers have that they can trade for Kevin Durant? Forget about Kyrie Irving because he's just a toss-in. Who does the Lakers have that they can trade for Kevin Durant? Anybody other than AD, LeBron James. Who do they have that they can trade?
Amir, what's your
Nobody. They have
Look,
absolutely
Why you yelling? Why you yelling?
Yeah.
May-
Amir, what's your
maybe-
thought process?
Look,
Yeah,
maybe
30
they just
seconds, Amir. 30 seconds. Go ahead.
maybe they swap KD for LeBron.
No,
Maybe
they
they just-
want LeBron. They want LeBron to stay there. LeBron
That ain't
wants to
happen.
stay. Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. They want LeBron to stay.
You know.
Ain't no way.
Yeah.
So-
Anyway, y'all, that's the show. We gotta get ready to go up out of here,
Oh,
man.
damn.
Sorry. Yeah, it's July 4th weekend. I want you guys to tell me what you guys are getting ready to do for July 4th weekend. Rodney Perry, start with you. Tell what's going on this weekend, bro. What you got?
Well, I got a new bottle of lotion, man. My wife's out of town. I'm trying to max it out.
How we follow you, Rodney Perry? How can we follow
Jergens?
you?
Well,
Rodney
First of all-
got Jergens lotion.
I'm over there. Yeah. Right here.
the fact that it's a new bottle.
T, what you got going on this weekend, bro? What you got?
Hey, I'm at the New York Kings of Comedy performing the weekend at Levity Live up in Nyack. We got 6 shows. We did the first one last night, so 5 more shows. 2 tonight, 2 tomorrow, 1 on Sunday. Capone, Mark Vieira, Rob Stapleton, yours truly, Talent. Most of it sold out, but grab a ticket where you can, man. Come support Levity Live. Let's go.
Amir, thank you for joining the show last minute, man. I appreciate you, man. What you got going on this weekend, and how can we follow you? And, you hanging out with
Man, I'm A-Rock Sealy there and IG Amir on Twitter and Facebook. I'll be around. I'm somewhere. I might be up at Levity Live. I could be up in Connecticut. I might be in Boston. Who knows? I'm everywhere. You ain't never there, but I'll be somewhere this weekend.
You
for
don't
sure.
want to come to Boston, bro. It's 100 degrees this weekend. That's not where you want to go. Nick, you got the last word. What's going on this weekend?
Man, I might go down to Levity Live. I ain't buying no ticket. I'm just going in the green room and yell.
Well, we're not
I'm
going to
walking
be
around
back.
the corner to the beach this summer. I mean,
We're not going to be back with a live show until Wednesday. I'm taking my birthday off, so that's July 5th. So July 4th.
Happy birthday, young man.
Thank you, sir.
Happy birthday.
July 5th, I'm a chill. If y'all want to do it, y'all. I'm not working. I'm not.
You dirty little cancer, you.
Yeah, I know, right?
You cry.
I want all y'all to have a safe weekend, man, because we know it gets crazy this July 4th weekend, man. Y'all be safe, man. Everybody out there watching, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. That's Rodney Perry. That's Amir A-Rock Silly. That's Fig. That's Talent. Y'all have a good, safe weekend, man. And happy 4th of July. We'll see y'all Wednesday. Repeat broadcast Monday.
Happy 4th.
Happy 4th of July, y'all. Be safe.
All right, y'all.
Peace.
Be safe.